guys. When you talk about an investment, too often we don't talk about an investment into yourself. And you have to understand your agent is
oh shit, camera's fucked up.
He is not your
I know they sell these little tissues to clean the cameras up, so I'm gonna have to get me one of those. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Glory. My name is Eddie Law. You've never seen this before. This is literally whatever's on my brain as soon as I woke up this morning. And it's a ton of MMA, but first I want to talk real quick, very briefly, about football, because I know most of you watching on this aren't really huge fans of football and all that. So they're talking about, well, if anyone that knows, that doesn't know, the Rams released Chris Long, their linebacker Laurinaitis, and Cook. And everyone here in Arizona who's a Cardinals fan is talking, let's sign all three of them. But the one guy that I definitely want the Cardinals to go after is Chris Long. Dude, he hasn't played very well in the last year or two, at least not to his expectations and shit. So I think it'd be smart for him to sign with the Cardinals for a year, show that he's still got, plenty left in the gas tank, and then have someone sign up to like a 3 or 4 year contract. That'd be smart. Whether he's gonna do that or not, who knows? I'm sure someone's gonna offer him plenty a long-term contract, but I'm not sure they're gonna give him significant money because he's still a risk. Even if the Cardinals sign him for 1 year, he might just give them what he did last year to the for the Rams, and which wasn't a whole hell of a lot. But that edge rushing, excuse me, had my protein shake a little while ago. That's what happens when you drink that much, when you drink a ton of protein in the morning. Because I worked out this morning, so I had to. Anyway, so I think if he did that, it'd be smart. It'd be very smart. He can still bust, but I doubt it. He's like one of those guys that's like proud of him. He takes pride in his work and what he does. So I don't think Chris Long is gonna be done for at least a few more years. All right, on to what is on my brain this morning. Get the fuck out. There's a train right now? Oh no, there's not. Never mind. Jesus, I fucking hate that. Trains in the morning are the worst thing ever. It like stops everyone from going to work. It pisses everybody off too. Anyway, obviously this weekend, MMA extravaganza. We had 3 big events, or what you would call 3 big events. 2 of them were kind of funny. The first one, of course, Friday night, Bellator 149 from, I think, Houston. I know my boy Justin Huffman was there covering it live and all that. It was a joke. The event was a joke. Almost the entire thing was a joke. There was like a couple decent fights, and there was one really good finish, and that was Melvin Guillard getting knocked the fuck out by Derek Campos. And basically what happened in that fight was what nobody thought would happen. It was Melvin Guillard getting knocked out. Guillard swung for the fences, missed almost every time. He connected in a couple shots, but nothing too great, and then just got knocked out. Keep in mind, he didn't make weight on the first try. He came in at 158, something like that, and they gave him 2 hours to make 156, and he made it. You know what I mean? But that's extra weight cutting for 2 hours, and that's 2 hours you're not recovering. So, whether or not Melvin Guillard was physically at the top of his game, it's pretty obvious he wasn't. But definitely fighting wise, like, dude, getting knocked out by Derek Campos is pretty bad. So, not that Campos isn't, can't knock dudes out. He definitely can. He has before. But Melvin Guillard's the guy that you get knocked out by, usually. So, that didn't work out very well for Mr. Guillard. So, then of course you got to move up. Mano Newton versus Lenton Vassell. It was all right. It was cool. It kind of is what it is. They announced, quote unquote, announced that Phil Davis is fighting King Mo in May in San Jose, I think, in a tournament. I think a tournament style. I'm not 100% sure, but basically they're trying to find out who's going to take on McGeary next. I'm assuming McGeary might have been hurt or something recently. Because I was pretty sure it was supposed to be Phil Davis against McGeary, but I'm assuming McGeary got hurt or something. I haven't heard anything official, so don't quote me on that. Of course, the one thing everyone was talking about, the co-main event, Kimbo Slice against Dada 5000, DeFear Harris. That sucked. But it didn't just suck in the fact that it wasn't a good fight. It was entertaining because I don't know one person that wasn't laughing, or at least wasn't a little bit shocked. You know what I mean? Okay, think about it. Shocked is the wrong word, because none of us were shocked that both men gassed out. None of us were shocked. Oh shit! Fucking potholes. None of us were shocked that Dada 5000 can't fight worth the shit, and everyone's seen Kimbo Slice fight, and he's not that good either. He's a brawler, as is supposed to be Dada 5000, but he didn't brawl. I mean, he brawled-ish, but he gassed out so fast. So it turns out, so anyway, first round goes. They both land a couple things. The problem is this, and Big John McCarthy, who was the ref, actually confirmed this on Twitter. Not to me, but to everybody, right? And then someone wrote an article on it. Basically, they asked him, what he thought of it in the first round, and he said that after they got through the first round, he said first of all that none of the punches actually hurt anybody, so not his words, but basically saying there were soft little pillow punches, but he didn't say the pillow part. He just said that, none of the shots were hurt either guy in the first round. But he said that after the first round ended, he said, "Oh my God, this is gonna go all three." You know what I mean? And it ended up going almost all three. He Dada 5000 literally passed out in the cage pretty much. Kimbo hit him a few times, and Dada couldn't even get his arms up, and Kimbo threw his right hand that completely embarrassingly missed, and Dada just kind of stumbled backwards and fell to the ground, and it was declared a TKO. So after the fight, I didn't even listen to Kimbo's post-fight interview, but they did take Dada 5000 out of the arena on a stretcher, right? And then he got to the hospital, and word is, I think his family actually released a statement confirming that his heart stopped when he's in the hospital. They put him on a ventilator, but now he's fine. He's breathing on his own. He's just recovering. But it turns out he lost 40 pounds for this fight, and so it filled his blood with potassium and something else. And apparently, and obviously, you do that, you're not in good shape whatsoever. So he cut 40 pounds for this fight. That's not a weight cut. That's a lifestyle change right there. You know what I mean? I think that good old Dada's gonna have to do something about it, because he's gonna gain it back and then some, if he's not careful. And I don't think it was like water weight and shit like that. I think he was actually trying to cut fat, but he did it in like weeks. So I mean, you're talking about shocking the fuck out of your body. You know what I mean? To get under that 265 limit. Hold up. Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of that part. And then but here's the thing. It was entertaining because it was hilariously bad, and it was embarrassing, I think, for the sport, in my opinion. Mostly for Bellator, I'll be honest. Mostly for Bellator, because everyone that tuned in to see these two street fight guys, they're gonna throw down, baby and hashtag baby nuts and all that shit. Everyone tuned into that shit, right, and saw it, and now that's what they're going to remember about Bellator, is Kimbo and Dada, that hilarious fight where both guys were awful, So a lot of casual fans hate watching shit, so they'll keep watching Bellator. And a lot of people were just like, this is Bellator? Fuck that. And Bellator's gonna keep doing that shit. I know. People were writing articles about Rogan's fight companion yesterday from the UFC Pittsburgh, and everyone was writing articles about how Rogan said something about Bellator can't keep doing these events and stuff, and these circus freak show events. Hell yeah, they can. It's like an NBA team. Okay, I'll give you an example. The Philadelphia 76ers are an awful team, okay? But their owner still makes money off that team. In fact, he might make more money off that team now than he will if it ever contends for a title, because you spend more money to be good, right? The Phoenix Suns are the same thing. They for years they were very competitive and all that. The new owner bought them. The Suns had the lowest salary and player-wise, obviously, as in the league, while still winning about 50-plus games. When the Suns signed Steve Nash, and they had drafted Amari, they had signed Joe Johnson to a weak contract, but that was a good contract. It was good for the Suns. They had Shawn Marion at like $11 million a year, and Quentin Richardson had like 2 or 3. Like basically, they had a monster team, right? And it just clicked. But he had the lowest salary, so for some reason, Robert Sarver thought, I can win without spending too much money. So when it came to paying players to stay, or going after guys in free agency, he didn't want to. He wanted to go cheap route, and look where we're at. So kind of how it goes. They keep getting paid. Robert Sarver still makes a lot of money off the Suns. The Sixers owner still makes a lot of money off the Suns, or off the Sixers. So that's kind of how it works. With Bellator, as long as people are tuning in, they don't give a shit who they put on there. They would put Scott Coker in there against Ray Sefo or Dana White if they knew it was gonna put views, or Dana White lookalike, and they would do it because they know people are gonna tune in to watch that garbage. Oh no! There was like a fucking multiple fender bender, and the last car is a beautiful fucking Porsche. That's why you don't drive your nice car. You know, you don't take your really nice car as a daily driver. You know, especially when you're in traffic like I am right now, because nobody gives a fuck about you or your car. All right, except you. So fucking, you know, even if you gotta get a little shit car on the side or something, little, you know, old ass Honda that still runs pretty decent, has AC in it on it and a radio, fucking take that. You know what I mean? Just because my truck's like 13 years old, otherwise I'd do the same. I'd have a little shit car on the side to take to work. But anyway, that sucks. I like Porsches too. So yeah, I mean, look, this fight, this Bellator thing, it's just, it continues to be a circus. The main event wasn't any better. For that, look, people are saying like, oh, Hoist looked good. Hoist looked good. Hoist is 49 years old. Against a 52-year-old, he was gonna look amazing just by moving around and breathing in the cage. Wow, somebody's really blasting gospel music. He's feeling the Jesus on the freeway. Do your thing, boy. But man, I hope you guys can hear that. Probably not, but it's literally gospel music blasting on the freeway with the windows down on his SUV. Anyway, I can't stop laughing about that. It's so dumb. So Hoist Gracie, yeah, Hoist Gracie, Ken Shamrock, and Hoist threw a bunch of weak ass kicks, kneed Ken in the balls, and that was the end of the fight. That was literally what happened. So I know people were like, you know, because I immediately go like, all four of these guys, you know, Kimbo, Dada, Hoist, and Kennedy, they all need to go away. Just go away, never come back to TV. Never try to fight again, never try to be famous again. Just leave the consciousness of the public, of the fans and all that. And some dude tweeted me like, oh, you know what, I think Hoist Gracie did great, but the other three I agree with. No, Hoist did awful. Hoist did awful. Prove to me that Hoist Gracie did well in that fight. Okay? He did better than Ken. I'll say that much. And then he need Ken in the balls real hard, I guess. You know, it didn't look like very much to me, but I'm sure for 52-year-old balls, that must have fucking sucked. So, you know, but Hoist needed him in the balls and then got on top of him in little, you know, weak-ass little shots to end the fight. And mostly because Ken wasn't getting up. I think Ken was, like, hoping the ref was going to be like, oh, you kicked him in the balls, you know, fucking stop the fight. Or it was written that way. You never know. Immediately people were like, fixed fight, fixed. You guys remember when Bob Sapp basically stopped fighting legitimately, like he ever did really? There was times where he would just tap immediately. You know, he'd get punched and he'd just fall backwards and tap. Sapp had a bunch of those fights and he just lose them on purpose. He just did it for a paycheck. So, you know, he's gonna do it again probably sometime soon for Ryzen or somebody. You know, but he just dropped backwards and tap. So, did that happen with Ken? Mm-hmm. Are we turning, is Bellator turning MMA into World Wrestling Entertainment? Or the like? Sure, looks like it. Right? They also announced Bellator kickboxing. That sounds awful. I hope it's not. I hope they do something legit, but I just don't see it happening. So that sucks. What else we got? Only if they do the kickboxing in the cage. I think that would be something different. You might want to try that Bella shit, tour, whore, whatever. I'm annoyed with Bellator because of those circus fucking events. It's really annoying. It's annoying because I got to talk about it, like, and because I like I've been watching it for a while, and I'm a big time MMA fan, and then, you know, casuals are like, oh, you know, bleh, just bleed, yeah, those kind of fuckers. You know, it's like that's their kind of circus shit. Not mine. I can't watch that and feel good about it. You know, so it's just bad, man. And everyone's gonna be talking about that today, how bad it was. Not as much as they would have, though, had there been no UFC this weekend. But World State's fighting on Saturday night. Moraes knocked some dude out. Barajas out. He knocked him out cold, as he should have, and he's supposed to, and he would do. So, good for him. And then on last night, UFC Pittsburgh. It's one of those cards that looks weak as fuck, and it delivers. That's kind of what it was. It was actually a pretty decent card. If I can remember the results, my brain's not working. Dennis Bermudez wins the decision. Derek Brunson wins, I think, knockout, if I remember correctly. And Cowboy Cerrone submits Oliveira. That was pretty legit. I was afraid that Cowboy, because Cowboy did what Cowboy usually does, and it looks like he starts off slow. And Oliveira didn't rush him too much, or at all, really. So which I thought was what he was gonna do. I think he was gonna rush him and try to knock him the fuck out real fast, like RDA did, because that's kind of how you beat Cowboy, right? Cowboy doesn't start fast, so I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then he took Oliveira down, and then he gets on his back and submits him off his back. I was like, what the fuck? What just happened? And then you always forget, because Cowboy's striking game's so good. You always forget about his jiu-jitsu. He's got legit jiu-jitsu. It's underrated as fuck, and it's legit. And Oliveira completely forgot about it and got subbed. So, is it a big win for Cowboy or for Cerrone? Not really. It's a good win. It's a really solid good win at 170. Shows that he can compete at the weight, but can he take on those top 5 guys at 170, including his boy Condit? I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see, but I think he stays, and I think Cowboy knows that it's going to be really rough to give him another title fight at 55. So 70 is going to be nearly impossible to give him that one. But at 55, I think Cowboy could possibly have another title shot, but he's gonna have to go on another streak. I mean, it took forever for them to give him the first shot. You know what I mean? Like, what makes anybody think that he's just gonna win his next fight or two, and they're gonna give him another one, even if it's at 55? So, I think Cowboy knows that his chances of another title shot are slim, so he's gonna fight at 170, 155 just to get paid, and I don't blame him. And especially yesterday, he took 0 damage. He could literally just chill for a couple weeks and sign he could literally sign a fight now, chill for a couple weeks, and be ready for the next one. It's like he's just that's what you like in seeing in fighters, to finish a fight very quickly and save their bodies from any kind of harm, because those guys can continue to fight, and hopefully show up healthy and fight. That's the idea. For Oliveira, nothing lost. He stepped up. It was basically, he had everything to gain in this one. He just didn't get anything other than, respect and recognition that he stepped up on short notice to take on a guy like Cerrone. And he did all right. Oliveira did okay. He looked a little confused at times, like he didn't really understand. He was like trying to feel out Cowboy or Cerrone, because he thought maybe he's doing something different than what he saw on tape. Cerrone rarely did changes his game plans. He usually does the same thing every time, for the most part, except for yesterday he took Oliveira down, which we haven't seen Cowboy do in a minute. Cowboy usually prefers to stand up and knock somebody out. So, but Oliveira didn't really lose anything. Gained a lot of respect for sure, and I think he'll get they'll give him a good solid fight next, kind of as like a reward and a thank you. So hopefully they do that for him. Yeah, in the post-fight interview, I loved fucking Seahawks, fake-ass Seahawks fans everywhere in Arizona. It's annoying. In the post-fight interview, he says, Cowboy was saying a bunch of stuff, and then he goes, I think he gave my favorite quote of the year so far, which was, if you want to get hurt, I know a guy. Basically talking about himself, but it was awesome. It's like, you want to get hurt? I know a guy. Like, whoo! Get him, Cerrone. Oh, I hope he fucking fights soon again. That shit, it wasn't even cold. It was just very, very matter-of-factly, like, come get your ass whooped, So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah. So now we're in the next week, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people talking about the Kimbo Dada thing. People are going to want to try. We're going to try and get Dada 5000 to give a statement. His family did. He didn't. They asked for privacy and all that shit. So I'm sure he'll be back in Miami giving interviews and shit soon. What else we got? I'm trying to remember. Oh, this Kelly Fastholz chick fought against Lauren Murphy. She is legit. Okay, she came in on like 12 days notice or 10 days notice, whatever it was, and put on a performance that I thought was one of those times where I'm like, the chick lost, but she didn't really lose, right? And the UFC definitely, struck gold with her. Maybe not gold, but definitely got a solid prospect. She was 3-0, now she's 3-1, but Definitely solid, and she's gonna be good, especially if we give her full fight camp. I think she's gonna show everybody something. Meanwhile, Lauren Murphy finally gets a finish and a win in the UFC, but luckily for her, it's a finish because the judges don't take too kindly to Lauren Murphy ever. Every time she goes to decision, she loses. So, I guess a TKO finish on Kelly, and yeah, I was legit fight. And then the Marion Reneau, or Maron Reneau. I don't know how they were pronouncing her name, but Marion Reneau was the fight against Ashley Evans Smith. Reneau got robbed badly. I thought Ashley Evans Smith took maybe the first round, I think. Yeah, and then Reneau took, not even, I don't know. I thought it was unanimous. It should have been unanimous for Reneau, and Evans Smith got the split, I believe. So, good for Evans Smith. She needed a win. She wanted to win. Reneau needed one, or could have used one. She definitely needs one in her next fight, but I thought she did enough to win that fight to get a decision. The refs, first of all, the judges were awful the entire night, and the refs were awful the entire night for the most part. It was pretty bad, man. It was what fight was it with a bunch of stand-up? The co-main? No, there was a ridiculous amount of really stupid stand-ups. I don't know if it was a Bermuda's fight. I want to say it was a Bermuda's fight. Whatever. There was a bunch of fucking ridiculous stand-ups. Like, just dumb. Like, you were watching, like, get the fuck out of here. That happened. Like, he really just stood them out. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. So it turns out if you're dropping people, your friends or family off at the bus stop, stopping in the middle of the street is the way to go. Fucking prick. Stupid. I didn't know what I'm at about that. I'm already past that shit. But yeah. The refs were awful. The judges were awful. Ace is bad. People were calling out the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission. You know who people were calling out? The Texas Athletic Commission. That fucking let Bellator pull that bullshit they pulled yesterday. You know what I mean? They're definitely mad about that shit. Or people were definitely like, what the fuck about that shit? That was... I guess we're all parking up here now? Okay. I'm gonna park up here. If those fuckers are gonna park up here and kiss my ass. Anyway. So, yeah, fucking Texas is getting mauled for allowing Dada 5,000 to fight. For, after cutting the 40 pounds and all that shit. Because they say that shit in the questionnaire, right? So, I'm pretty sure they do. But, people were calling the Texas Athletic Commission corrupt and a bunch of other shit. And I believe they are. I'm with them on it. I mean, come on. How are you going to let Bellator pull that bullshit with two super old guys in the main event and a guy that has no business being... And two guys really have no business being in the cage, but one of them has to cut 40 fucking pounds to fight, Anyway, it's going to be it for me. Appreciate everyone that watches this. And I'm going to be doing... should I announce shows or not? Yeah, I'm going to do Breaking the Law with Lady Law tonight. I'll tweet out the time later on today. And yeah, it's going to do it for me. So I remember, it's another Monday, man. So start of a new, technically it's the start of the week, but start of a new work week. How's that? We'll put it that way. Start of a new work week. So we're one day closer to death, ladies and gentlemen. So make every day count, and I will catch you guys later tonight. All right, see ya.